Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to That 70s Rock Fan. Roger Corman, who passed away in April, has often been hailed as the cult classic king and is a towering figure in American filmmaking whose influence and legacy are enduring and indeed will endure. And I finally sat down to mark the passing of Roger Corman, this amazing movie maker whose career spanned 6 decades. Corman was a visionary and a trailblazer who leaves an indelible mark on the film industry. What he achieved with the American International Pictures in particular was groundbreaking. I mean, particularly considering the modest budgets, well, some would say non-existent budgets. In fact, it was a masterclass in how to produce exciting and attractive content without the resources of the major studios. He was a producer, a director, a writer, and critically a mentor for other emerging talent, giving a start to many budding talents who would go on to be major filmmakers. Born in Detroit in 1926, Corman studied engineering at Stanford University, which probably stood him in good stead for some of the exploits and creations he had to make on his sets. But he found his true calling in film and quickly made a name for himself in Hollywood. And his early works in the 1950s and 1960s, particularly, as we say, his work with American International Pictures, have become legendary. His approach to filmmaking was characterized by an ingenuity and efficiency and a remarkable ability to produce high-quality content, in many instances, on extremely modest budgets. And some of his movies have become firm favourites of mine over the years and were a huge influence on me as a young lad back in the 1960s and 1970s. His mastery of the B-movie, sometimes even letters lower than B, brought forth a slew of memorable films, particularly in the horror and science fiction genres. And Corman is deservedly a giant of genre filmmaking. These films not only entertained me and many others, but also highlighted his expertise at creating atmospheric and visually compelling narratives, despite the drawbacks of budget, etc. Now, some of my and many other favourites other people's favourites include classics like The Fall of the House of Usher, the 1960 Richard Matheson penned Vincent Price starrer, which had an incredible atmosphere and launched a series of Corman Edgar Allan Poe movies, such as another classic, 1964's The Mask of the Red Death. Also starred Price and Jane Asher and had an incredible look and feel to it. These are such good movies. Being a lifelong science fiction fan, Corman's movies were always amongst my favourites. 1964's X, The Man with the X-Ray Eyes, featured terrific effects, and it kind of scared the hell out of the young me when I first saw it on television in the early 1970s. And as always, Corman got stellar performances from his leads, in this case by Ray Milland. In 1955's Day the World Ended is another minuscule budget but atmospheric classic, as is 1957's Not of This Earth. 1956's It Conquered the World, great title, with stars Peter Graves and Lee Van Cleef, transcended its budget with a suspenseful and ambitious story. It goes zontar, is all I can say. Corman was also great at blending horror and sci-fi and comedy, like in 1960's Little Shop of Horror, which featured a young Jack Nicholson. And there are 2 later movies that I still consider personal favourites of mine. 1975's Death Race 2000, starring David Carradine and Sylvester Stallone. I remember thinking as a young lad seeing it for the first time at the cinema that this was the best movie I'd ever seen. And it certainly ignited my love of dystopian movies. And lastly, 1980's Battle Beyond the Stars, produced by Corman. This space opera is a homage to Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai. Sounds familiar. Set in space, featuring Richard Thomas, Robert Vaughn, and George Peppard, and featured impressive special visual effects by James Cameron, and I love it deeply. Another of Corman's most significant contributions to cinema is his role as a mentor to a generation of filmmakers who would go on to redefine Hollywood under his tutelage. Directors such as Francis Ford Coppola, Martin Scorsese, James Cameron, Ron Howard, and Jonathan Demme, as well as actors like Jack Nicholson and Peter Fonda, were given their first significant opportunities in the industry. Corman really had an eye for talent and a willingness to take risks on newcomers. And this fostered an environment of creativity and innovation that I think had a lasting impact on American cinema, certainly American independent cinema for sure. In addition to this, his work behind the camera, of course, Corman's production company, New World Pictures, played an important role in bringing groundbreaking foreign language films to American audiences by distributing works by people like Ingmar Bergman, Federico Fellini, and Akira Kurosawa. So it introduced many people to international cinema. No short video like this is ever going to do justice to the man, and there are lots of great videos and documentaries out there detailing his life and career, such as Corman's World, so please check that and others out to find out more about the man and his legacy. And we need to preserve that legacy and the memory of independent filmmakers such as Roger Corman. His career is a testament to the power of independent filmmaking and the enduring appeal of genre cinema, two areas that remain strong despite the current malaise of mainstream Hollywood. So he was a true pioneer, and he had a passion for cinema, and it's left a real mark on the hearts and minds of movie lovers everywhere. So rest in peace, Roger. Thanks for all the movies and the memories. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it very much. If you enjoyed this, please consider leaving a like and even subscribing. And until next time, stay well and keep on rocking.